Before I start today's video, just for those of you who are looking for Japanese lessons, go look over on Give Me a Flake Man. I'm doing one every day over there. Very short mini lesson. Won't take much of your time if you're interested in that kind of stuff. More cultural lessons coming soon. But today I want to talk about something that's kind of just bothering me. I don't, I'll just be honest with you. I think it's screwed up that Alberto Fujimori, the ex-president of Peru, was convicted to 30 years in prison for crimes against humanity. But at the same time, I know he did a lot of things that were wrong, but I can't see another way that he could have done it right. I'm from Peru, for those of you who don't know. I was born in Peru. I came to the States when I was about a year old. And I go back every 2-3 years. I have lots of family there. And it's a screwed up country, I'm sorry to tell you, but we Peruvians, we Peruvian Americans, whatever, anyone who lives there or gotten out of there, we have an expression. Peruvians will steal your socks without taking your shoes off, okay? They're completely untrustworthy. In Peru, you're either loaded or you're poor. That's the way it is. You know, they have almost no middle class. But I honestly cannot remember. I don't know if I knew any employee that worked for any of the families, any of our extended family, that didn't get knocked up. The superstition there, how do I say it? The lack of education is amazing. It's appalling. Now, the country was ripe for taking by the Sendero Luminoso and the Mirta, the terrorist groups, the Marxist terrorist groups that were plaguing the country in the 1990s, and anyone who's been to Central South America knows almost every country is full of graft, and any official can be bought. When I was in Panama, and you can't blame them half the time. When I was in Panama, I had a friend working as I made friends with this guy who's working selling ice cream. He was making $15 a day. The policemen were making $5 a day. You really can't even blame them for taking bribes. I have one of the most upstanding, honorable uncles in the world who lived in Peru. Great family man, blah, 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 blah. He gets pulled over by the cops almost routinely, and the way he deals with it is he puts a little money in his handkerchief and passes it over to the cop and says, "I think you have a cold, officer." The officer says, "Oh, thank you." Takes the handkerchief, takes the money out, lets him go on his way. That's the way things are done. Peru is a screwed up country. It was a very screwed up country. Along came Fujimori, and he fixed it. Yeah, he had to break a lot of balls. He did a lot of things that he's now paying for. A lot of those things included murder, I guess, and kidnapping. And I just found out he had 300,000 peasant women sterilized. Now, is that acceptable? I think under the circumstances, yes. And I think the fact that and you might be thinking, "Oh, no, you can't. You've got to. I can't believe you're saying that, Victor." But how would you have done it? You know, the guy came back to Peru after going into exile. He could have easily just stayed away, but he came back to Peru. Maybe that was his fault. You know, it was a mistake. And they tried him, and now he's going to jail. You know, now his daughter is running for president. Maybe she'll, if she gets it in 2011, she'll forgive him, give him amnesty, or pardon him, or anything. But I just think it's so ironic that of all the countries in the world, Peru would be one of the first countries to put their president in jail. When you have all these dictators and all these First Nations countries, you know, people just doing horrible things, and we could even argue with Bush in America. And we can't seem to do anything like this. We can't seem to arrest someone or charge someone, and definitely not convict anybody of anything like this. At least not at that level. I'm just amazed, you know. I'm amazed that this has happened. And the question, you know, I have for you is, in a state of war, I mean, when does it become acceptable, you know? I mean, we have Guantanamo Bay. Apparently, that seems to be acceptable by a lot of people. You know, not nearly as many people died in Ireland during the IRA. You know, the war with them, the terrorism there. What people some people call terrorism. 70,000 people died in Peru. Most people don't know that. Most people don't care. Why? They're just little brown people. And now the man who cleaned it up is going to jail. I don't know. It's really mixed feelings on this. You guys probably don't even know or care about this. I don't know. If anybody does, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I mean, when does it become unacceptable? When is it acceptable? You know, that 70,000 people dying in your country by terrorism, that's a war. And I'm sorry, but in a war situation, I can't think of another way to deal with it without having collateral damage. Friendly fire, so to speak. This bugs me, and I'm not even really proving anymore. But yeah, I actually feel sorry for the guy. I feel like he's like one of the few presidents that's ever helped Peru, because I've seen so many come and go, and almost everyone has been corrupt and has ripped off the country. I don't know. At least he helped it.